The weekend started like every other group trip. Same jokes, same fake enthusiasm for nature. Olivia laughed louder than usual. Ryan kept the fire going, acting like the hero of the woods. Everyone was relaxed, except me. I didn't know why, but something felt off. Maybe it was the way she avoided my eyes. Maybe it was the way he looked at her when he thought I wasn't watching. I told myself I was paranoid. We'd been married for years, and Ryan was family. I trusted them both completely. Sunday morning came too fast. We packed our bags. The air smelled like burnt coffee and damp tents. I was stacking things neatly in the car, the way I always did. Olivia bent down to grab her bag. Ryan walked by, brushed his hand over her hip, then down her back. It was casual. Too casual. Like something that had happened before. She didn't flinch. She didn't pull away. She smiled. Not nervous. Not embarrassed. Just a small, knowing smile. My heart stopped. It lasted maybe 2 seconds. 2 seconds that changed everything. No one else saw. Just me. The fire crackled. People joked nearby, and I stood there frozen. I didn't yell. Didn't ask why. I just swallowed it down like poison. I've never been the kind of man who screams in public. I process things quietly. I observe. I calculate. I find the truth before I speak. The drive home felt endless. She talked about the next trip, about stopping for food, about nothing. I stared at the road and said little. When she asked if something was wrong, I said work was stressing me out. That wasn't a lie. Work was easy compared to what I was thinking. I replayed that moment again and again. His hand. Her smile. The way it felt rehearsed. I knew right then it wasn't a one-time thing. You don't react like that unless it's familiar. Unless you've crossed that line before. When we got home, she kissed me like nothing had changed. Her eyes looked calm, confident. That's when I realized she had no idea I knew. And maybe that was my advantage. I stayed quiet. Didn't confront her. Didn't touch her phone. Not yet. Because when people think you're blind, they show their true faces. I watched her laugh at her messages. I watched her sleep peacefully beside me. I stared at the ceiling and promised myself I'd find the truth. Not out of anger. Out of clarity. Because if she really betrayed me, I wanted every detail. Every lie. Every word. She thought the game hadn't started. But it had. And I was done playing fair. It happened 3 days after the trip. I was cleaning the spare room, the one we never used. Boxes, old cables, random memories stacked in corners. That's when I saw it, her old iPad, half buried under a pile of chargers. I didn't even think it worked anymore. I plugged it in just curious. The screen lit up like a ghost coming back to life. No password. Still logged into her Apple ID. I stared at it for a full minute, then opened messages. Everything was still syncing. Every text. Every phone. Every secret. Her phone was always locked, always for privacy. Now privacy had just turned into evidence. I scrolled through her messages. Friends, coworkers, family, nothing strange. Then I saw it. Ryan. The name hit like a punch. I tapped the thread. First thing I saw was a gym selfie. Her in leggings, mirror shot, captioned, "Wish you were here." My chest went cold. It wasn't just flirting. It was intimacy. I kept scrolling, line after line of betrayal. 8 months of messages. Hotel receipts. Can't wait to see you again. Tell your wife you have a late meeting. Don't forget to delete this. She had planned everything. The dates matched the time she said she was visiting her sister. I read until my hands shook. Then I stopped feeling. Just focus. Just gather proof. Every message, Screenshot photo, backed up, copied, labeled. I wasn't going to confront her with anger. I was going to bury her with facts. She was in the living room that night, laughing at her phone, pretending to scroll through recipes. She had no clue I was looking at her double life from 10 feet away. Her face, so calm, like she hadn't destroyed anything. I realized then that I wasn't married to the woman I thought I knew. This Olivia was a stranger with my last name. A stranger capable of smiling while lying straight to my face. I emailed the files to myself, saved them to an external drive, even printed the key ones. Then I booked appointments with 2 lawyers. The next morning, I looked at her as she made coffee. She hummed a song under her breath, barefoot, innocent. And I thought, how many times did I defend her when people said she was manipulative? How many times did I say, you don't know her like I do? Turns out they were right. I didn't know her at all. That day, something inside me switched off. No rage. No heartbreak. Just clarity. I had all I needed, truth. The kind that doesn't scream. It just ends things quietly. And for the first time in weeks, I smiled. Because I knew exactly what to do next. She came home late that Friday. Smelled like perfume I didn't recognize. Smiled like she was rehearsing happiness. Set her bag down and kissed my cheek. I let her talk. She told me about her day, about traffic, about dinner plans. I listened like a stranger listening to a story that wasn't his. When she finally sat down, I asked her one question. Do you love me? She blinked fast, confused, then said, of course, why would you ask that? I nodded. Then I asked if she was happy. She hesitated. Said, mostly. Sometimes it feels like we're just existing. I let the silence sit between us. Then I asked the last question. Why are you cheating on me with Ryan? Everything stopped. Her face drained of color. For a few seconds, she didn't breathe. Then came the panic. What are you talking about? Where is this coming from? I said nothing. Her eyes darted around, searching for an escape. She started crying, shaking her head, denying everything. I waited. The tears turned to excuses. It only happened once. I was confused. You've been distant. Then she dropped the worst line I'd ever heard. He understands me. He understands my body. I wanted to laugh. Instead, I stared at her until she looked away. So that's what love means now. Flattery and cheap hotel rooms. She kept talking, but it was just noise. I stood up, reached into my pocket, and placed a business card on the table. My lawyer's name printed clean and sharp. She looked at it like it was poison. I've already filed, I said. If you need me, go through him. She gasped, as if I'd hit her. You're ending this over one mistake. Then the anger came. You're cold. You never fight for us. You just walk away. Her words didn't touch me. I packed a bag in silence. She followed me from room to room, switching between begging and blaming. You can't do this. I'm your only family. I stopped at the door and turned. Not anymore. She broke down, clutching my arm, crying into my sleeve. I didn't move. Didn't say goodbye. I walked out. Checked into a hotel that night. The room was quiet, sterile, perfect. For the first time in months, I slept. No noise. No lies. Just the hum of the air conditioner and my own breathing. When I woke up, the world felt clearer. The woman I married was gone. All that was left was a stranger who thought guilt could buy forgiveness. But she was wrong. Some things don't deserve second chances. Some things end exactly where the truth begins. The next morning, I called Emily, Ryan's wife. We'd never been close, but she deserved the truth. We met at a small coffee shop downtown. She looked calm, unaware that her whole world was about to shift. I didn't waste time. I showed her the screenshots, the photos, the messages. She went pale but didn't cry. just nodded slowly, holding the phone like it burned. "Thank you," she said. "That explains everything." We sat in silence for a while. Two people mourning the same betrayal from different angles. When I left, I felt lighter. Not happy. Just free from the lie. That night, Olivia texted me. She asked if we could talk. I ignored it. Then came more messages. "I still love you. We can fix this. I made a mistake." I didn't reply. My lawyer told me to stay silent. Every message went straight into the folder. Proof. Documentation. Evidence of her trying to rewrite the story. Meanwhile, I kept reading the iPad. It was still sinking. She had no idea. Her and Ryan were still talking like they had a future. They planned weekends, whispered promises, exchanged "I miss you" texts. But the tone was changing. Less romance. More tension. He started asking questions. What if your husband fights for the house? What if you don't get the money? That's when it clicked. Ryan didn't love her. He loved what she could bring. And she loved what she thought she could take from me. Two liars trying to build a fantasy out of greed. I watched the cracks form in real time. He stopped calling her baby. She stopped saying, "I love you." By the fourth week, their texts sounded like business negotiations. I wasn't angry anymore. I was fascinated. They were destroying themselves without my help. Olivia still thought I was broken somewhere, nursing pain in silence. But the truth was, I was rebuilding. Gym in the mornings. Meetings with lawyers in the afternoons. Peaceful nights alone. I hadn't felt that calm in years. She tried one more trick, sent me a photo of us from college, captioned "Remember when love was simple." I didn't answer. That silence hit harder than any insult could. Because she wanted reaction. She wanted emotion. But I had none left for her. Ryan stopped showing up at his job. Friends began to avoid him. The man who used to charm everyone now sat alone at bars, waiting for calls that never came. Olivia didn't know yet, but the walls were closing in. Every lie, every secret, every game, all leading to one inevitable collapse. And I was just watching quietly, letting karma do the work. It started with a message on a Tuesday morning. Her name flashed on my phone. I almost ignored it, but curiosity won. There was a picture attached. A sonogram. No words, just the image. Below it, one line. "I wanted you to be the first to know. I'm 7 weeks pregnant." I stared at the screen for a full minute. My stomach dropped, but not from shock. From disbelief. I hadn't touched her in almost 2 months. I knew exactly when we last slept together. The math didn't add up. Not even close. I didn't reply. Instead, I opened the iPad. Still synced. Still delivering secrets she thought were hidden. I searched every chat, every group, every app. Nothing. No mention of missing a period. No pregnancy tests. No excitement shared with friends. No talk with Ryan. Not a single hint. So either she found out and told no one, which wasn't like her, or it was fake. I sent everything to my lawyer. He told me not to respond directly. If she wanted to make a legal claim, we'd demand a paternity test. The next day, she sent a voice note. Her voice shaking, soft, pretending to be fragile. "I know this is hard, Ethan, but maybe this is a sign. Maybe it's our chance to start over." I played it twice, not out of doubt, but to memorize the performance. Because that's all it was, a show. She wanted me to feel something again. Guilt, hope, anything. But all I felt was exhaustion. By Thursday, her mother texted me. "We're so happy for you both. Congratulations." Then her sister. "This baby is a blessing. You two were meant to be." It was surreal. Like watching actors read from a bad script. I didn't respond. I didn't need to. because the iPad showed me everything I needed to know. She told Ryan about the pregnancy too. His reaction was chaos. Not joy. Fear. He accused her of trying to trap him. Don't drag me into your lies. You're just using me because he won't talk to you. She replied with a paragraph of desperation. It's not about money. I just want a stable future. But even Ryan saw through her. He wrote back, funny how it stopped being my baby once he asked for a DNA test. That line made me laugh. The irony was perfect. Two liars finally realizing they couldn't lie to each other anymore. A week later, she sent another text. I lost the baby. Please don't message me. I'm in pain. No details. No hospital. Just drama. The script had ended. The fantasy was over. She wasn't pregnant. She never was. It was just another trick. One last attempt to make me care. But I didn't. Because when someone lies that deep, all that's left is silence. And silence was all she got. 2 weeks passed before I saw her again. The fake pregnancy had vanished, just like her excuses. Ryan was gone too. His wife filed for divorce. His friends stopped answering calls. He was sleeping on his sister's couch, drinking cheap beer, blaming everyone but himself. Olivia tried to call me a few times, but I blocked every number. She sent one last email, long, messy, filled with regret. I didn't even open it. When I went back to the condo to grab the last of my things, she was there. Hair messy, eyes swollen, wearing one of my old hoodies. She looked smaller, weaker, like the weight of her lies had crushed her. She asked if we could talk. I didn't answer. She followed me around the room, words spilling out like broken glass. I didn't mean to hurt you. I was lost. I just wanted to feel something again. I packed my books, my camera, my piece. She started crying harder. How can you be so cold? You're not the man I married. I turned and said, you're not the woman I married either. She froze, tears hanging in the air. You've lost everything, I told her. Her voice cracked. I didn't lose it, you took it from me. I shook my head. No, you gave it away. Silence. Only the sound of her sobbing, and the zipper on my suitcase. I walked to the door. She whispered, so that's it. I looked back once. It was over the moment you chose him. I left. No yelling. No last glance. Just the sound of the door, closing on a chapter that never deserved a sequel. The divorce finalized a month later. Clean, quiet final. She got her share of the condo, though she wanted to keep it. I sold it instead. Let the walls forget our names. The inheritance stayed untouched, exactly as my parents left it. Ryan vanished from everyone's life. A ghost with a guilty face. Olivia disappeared from social media, too. Maybe she thought hiding would make the shame fade. But some stains don't wash out. As for me, I started rebuilding. Gym in the mornings, therapy twice a week, silence every night. Peace became my revenge. No shouting. No bitterness. Just calm. Because the best revenge isn't proving them wrong. It's living like they never existed. Some nights, I still think about that camping trip. How 2 seconds destroyed 12 years. But then I remember, it didn't destroy me. It freed me. Now, every sunrise feels like a new chapter. No lies. No ghosts. Just me and the quiet. And in that quiet, I finally found peace. The papers were signed on a Thursday morning. No drama. No last-minute speeches. Just 2 signatures ending 12 years. She didn't look at me. Maybe she couldn't. Maybe she finally understood what silence meant. I walked out of that courthouse, lighter than I'd ever been. The air felt clean, the sky sharper. Everything was finally still. I moved into a new apartment with white walls and empty drawers. No shared memories. No ghosts in the furniture. Just peace. Ryan was still a rumor, drifting between couches and bad decisions. Olivia vanished from everyone's radar. Maybe that was her punishment. Maybe mine was surviving it all and learning peace the hard way. Now I wake up early. I lift, run, breathe. I don't check old messages. I don't wonder, what if? Because revenge isn't fire. It's quiet. It's control. It's the sound of your own heartbeat when you finally stop chasing ghosts. And as I close this story for good, I realize something simple. She didn't break me. She built the man who walked away.